Hi guys, this is a redirect to my reaction to episodes 10, 11 and 12 of Avatar The Last Airbender. Some great episodes again. I love how it changes up in every episode, like you don't know what to expect. So in the first episode we met Jet, who initially seemed like an absolute badass. He is very skilled with his weapon. I don't know what that weapon is called, but I believe you use it with, they're like fire tongs or something. They're curved at the end, and I liked the way he was using it against all of those Fire Nation soldiers, to you know, like, because Aang, Katara and Sokka, they came across this Fire Nation squad, and then Jet and his gang came to rescue them. Really, so it's initially he seemed really cool, and he also seemed really smooth as well. Like he was proper trying to flirt with Katara. I feel like Katara is very popular with the boys. Is that just me? Like Aang, even Zuko to some extent, and Jet. Unfortunately though, Jet was not all he seemed. So he was actually using Katara and Aang, because they're air and water benders respectively. He wanted to use their powers to do to carry out his goal to destroy a whole earthbending village. So he was really fucked up because he has a huge grudge against the Fire Nation, and that was what's common that Katara and Sokka have with Jet. But Sokka actually found out the truth, that actually they are going to take out the Earth tribe village with the Fire Nation people that are controlling the village. So to them, they feel that in order to abolish the Fire Nation, sacrifices have to be made, including innocent people that are actually living in the village. So women, children, and innocent men. You know, like not everyone is a Fire Nation soldier in that village that he wants to destroy. So I thought that was extremely fucked up, that he wanted to take out a whole tribe just because the Fire Nation was controlling that Earth tribe. There seems a lot of people are against the Fire Nation, and of course they're constantly seen as extremely ruthless, angry people. But we'll get onto that in a bit. So after Sokka found out the truth about what Jet and his gang were really up to, Sokka wanted to tell Katara and Aang the truth, that actually they're a bunch of thugs and they don't actually have mercy towards innocent people. Like they even went against that old man who was actually, I mean, I don't know, like he was not actually an assassin, was he? He said he was an assassin to Katara and Aang, but I don't know if he twisted that, because Sokka said that he didn't actually see a knife on the old man. So Sokka was taken away by Jet and his gang so that Sokka won't tell Aang and Katara the truth. So Aang and Katara were led to believe that actually they were doing something noble, to stop the Fire Nation, only the Fire Nation. I think that's what they believed in. So they helped get the water out so that all of the explosions can go off. I think that was the idea. So so unfortunately the village, it got destroyed. But Sokka, he managed to get out of his bounds on time and actually warn all of the villagers about the attack. So they all evacuated before the village got destroyed. So no one actually got hurt. So Sokka the MVP for the first episode. So in the second episode we saw Aang, Sokka, and Katara wanting to explore the Great Divide, which is the canyon area, and they wanted to get a tour guide from this old man. But there were these two tribes that were like having so many arguments with each other because they completely hate each other. I believe they're called the Guangjang and the I forgot the names, but I'll put that in the summary. So these two tribes, they hate each other because of what happened like 100 years ago, between the two tribes. So they've had like a lifelong hatred for each other, but in the end they tried to like work together because the canyon was crawling with creatures, and you're not supposed to bring food in the canyon area. So so in the end they still weren't able to resolve their issues, but Aang, he came up with an idea to actually lie to them and say that their stories are actually false. What they believe had happened 100 years ago actually did not happen. It was actually a game, a board game between the two tribe men from each tribe. So it wasn't like one betrayed the other or anything. But it turns out that that actually was a lie, but they did fall for it, so now they're at peace with each other, so it all worked out in the end. Sly, but it worked out. And then in the third episode, we saw some quite dark backstories. So Aang, we saw a bit of backstory about how he found out how he found out that he is actually the Avatar. He was told by the monks in his air temple, and how he was just completely ostracized by everyone, abandoned by everyone because he's the Avatar, so he's been given like this special treatment that he's being othered by everyone else, basically. So I thought that was really sad. And then the whole storm thing with him getting nightmares, which turns out that it is based on what happened in the past, of how he ran away because the air temple monks believed that he should actually separate from them. He should actually leave from them. So Aang didn't like that news, so he decided to run away in the storm. And then he ended up actually getting frozen with Appa as well. So that's how he woke up in Katara's arms in the very first episode, 100 years later. And then we saw Zuko's backstory of how he basically went against a decision that was made in the Fire Nation, but he didn't have that right to speak up about it, and he had to duel his own father, and his father showed him no mercy whatsoever, which I thought was really fucked up. Like, your own father going up against you. And he was being so merciful, like saying he was even apologizing to his own father, but his father was absolutely ruthless against him. And that's how he got the scar. And that's why he's so damn determined to get the Avatar. So I thought, wow, I feel sorry for him, I really do. Even though he's technically the villain, but he doesn't really act like the villain because he actually cares for his uncle, the people in his ship. He even stopped the search for Aang because he did actually see Aang in the storm, but he said no, we need to actually retreat and get to safety because of the storm. So I mean, he's not totally obsessed really, but it is what it is. But yeah, what you think of this episode, so let me know and stay tuned for more.